7 wickets, and of course the series 3-0. There were some fine performances along the way we ought to point to. Richie Richardson, man of the series, averaging 88.4, tremendous performance. Courtney Walsh, 18 wickets at 14 apiece, and then for India, Manjrekar, 212 runs in the series, including a fine century, and Kapil Dev, 18 wickets at 20. Well, let's just have a final word from our two experts. First, Mohinder Amarnath. Mohinder, where do you think the series was actually won and lost?
I think India lost the first test in Barbados, and I felt that they lost the series over there because all the Indian batsmen struggled against the pace and they had no answer. They just couldn't cope up with the 4 West Indian fast bowlers throughout the series. And I think that made all the difference in the series.
If you had to choose a man of the series for the West Indies, not for India, who would you pick?
There are quite a few guys I can think of. Malcolm Marshall, Walsh, Bishop. But I think the guy who made all the difference is Richie Richardson.
Let's turn to Sir Garfield Sobers. Gary, what are your thoughts on the series?
Well, I thought it was a bit of a letdown from the Indians' point of view. I thought that the Indians, as Jimmy has said, they didn't play very well against the West Indies fast bowlers. And at times when they look like getting on top of the West Indies attack, they got themselves out very silly. And we saw it again in this test match here when Manjrekar and Arun Lal came together and they were batting very well yesterday, and then Manjrekar played that silly shot and got himself out. And I think that was the trend throughout the series. And I thought that the wickets in the West Indies were really the type of wickets that suited the Indian team more so than the West Indies team, apart from this one here. And I thought the West Indies, now on the other hand, I thought the West Indies, they stuck to their task, they play well. They bowled on wickets that didn't really suit them, particularly the one in Trinidad, that I thought the Indians would have done extremely well on and probably won the test match there. But the West Indies bowlers, Malcolm Marshall in particular, bowled extremely well. And then we saw here again, as I said, the wicket suited them here. Walsh bowled very well. But one must never forget a player like Kapil Dev. I think Kapil did very, very well. I thought he bowled extremely well for a man who they were saying that is at the end of his career. He's certainly shown that he's not at the end of his career. But there were some good performances on the Indians scene. You know, Manjrekar in Barbados made a lovely 100. So was Ravi Shastri, and then we saw Sidhu here in Jamaica on a wicket that was uneven, suited the West Indies bowlers, and he batted very well.
So let me push you to pick one.
Well, I would think that Kapil will have to be the man of the series for me because he bowled extremely well and a lot of pressure was on him when he went into bat.
Great. Gary Sobers and Mohinder, thanks for joining us. And so that's our cue to say goodbye from the Caribbean. We've enjoyed bringing this first ever television series to India. But for the moment, from Zabina Bark in Jamaica, goodbye from us all.